Hello guys, Josh here, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a good week. Now today we are going to be doing some PC mods. We've got two boxes here that we're going to unbox in just a moment. Now the first is this vertical GPU mount bracket from Phanteks. Now I've wanted a vertical mount for a little while. One, because I think they look quite cool, and two, because it should give us some more options in terms of cooling. Now the second box we've got here, this is from ColdZero International. They make kind of like PC mod parts and stuff like that. Now if you guys didn't see my PC build video from a few months ago, I actually purchased two products from ColdZero. The first was like a light box for the Lian Li case. It kind of sits in the bottom and glows, looks really cool. And the second was a GPU backplate, and I was really happy with both of them. And long story short, I've been in touch with ColdZero since, and I pretty much just said, can you send us some free stuff please, and I'll make a video. And what do you know, they said yes, so thanks guys. So what this is a front panel intake mod for the Lian Li PC-O11 dynamic case. So what happens is you remove the front glass panel, which obviously you can't mount fans to, and you replace it with this thing, which is made of acrylic, and you can mount fans to it. And you can have yourself a front intake on the Lian Li case, which I've never seen anything like this before, so really looking forward to installing this. And yeah, these two things combined should definitely give us better temps on the GPU, because I'm currently running a side exhaust for kind of like aesthetic reasons, which is not ideal, and we're not really getting a lot of air to the GPU. So these things should fix that problem. So anyway, we're going to unbox them, get them installed in the PC. Should be awesome. Let's go. So I think we'll go for the GPU mount first. Let's get this thing unboxed. Now there's a couple of reasons why I actually went for this particular vertical GPU mount. The official one from Lian Li means that you can't have like bottom intake fans, which is stupid. It kind of like takes up the whole bottom of the case. So yeah, I don't know even why they made that one. And this one is actually, there it is. It's thinner. This section is thinner than most. Most of them are like double the width, which blocks your fan, so it's kind of stupid. But yeah, this one is nice and thin, so if you do happen to have a bottom intake, then it still has like airflow, which is awesome. So yeah, this is it. It's fairly sturdy, made of kind of the classic metal that you get on PC components. It takes up 7 PCI slots, so this is pretty much just going to fix to the back of the case, and then the GPU will attach to here. And then of course we have the PCIe extension cable as well, which I'll just unbox now. I think I might need some scissors for this. Nope, never mind, we're just going to use a knife. There we go. Nice and simple. So yeah, this is the GPU extension cable. So try and be a little bit careful with it. Here we go. So yeah, one of these edges is going to plug into the GPU, and the other will go into the motherboard. So pretty straightforward. Just see if we've got anything else in the box. We've got these things, which are, I think they're dampening pads, possibly. Are they double-sided sticky tape? Yeah, they are. It's like foam pads. I'll have to check in the instructions what these are for in a moment, but anyway, you get some of those with it. And is there anything else? No, that's everything. So just to sum up, we've got the GPU mount, we've got the PCIe extension, we've got these foam pads, and we also have a couple of screws as well, obviously, to mount this thing. So that's that unboxed. Now let's do the front panel intake mod. Let's get this thing out. So, oh, it's taped in again. It's actually taped inside as well. I mean, good job on the packaging, guys. Pretty impressed, but yeah, it kind of makes unboxings a little bit difficult. I think that's everything now. Let's take it out, I think. Here we go. Oh, there's one more piece of tape. 2 more pieces of tape. Right, let's stick that on the floor. Get rid of this. And see what we've got here. I'm just having flashbacks actually of the GPU bracket that I unboxed from them, and it was the same thing. It had loads of cellophane on, which you're not quite sure where, like how many layers there is or where to unpeel it from. I'm sure there's an easier way than this, but I'm just an idiot. I've just dropped the screws everywhere. Not gonna lie guys, that legitimately took about 10 minutes to unwrap all of that plastic, but we've got everything out now, so I'll attempt to show you guys what we got in the box. So, we'll start with this thing. This looks like piece number 1 of the front panel mod, and this is piece number 2 right here. Now I'm guessing this is the front piece because it's the piece that looks perfectly square, and it has little magnets on the back, which I'm guessing this works with this somehow to attach the fans. I don't really know. We're just going to have to find out. We get 2 dust filters, which this actually fits perfectly into there, as you can see, very nice. And we also get another one as well to go on there. Again, not really sure. And this thing, I've no idea what this is. We're just going to have to, I don't know if it came with any instructions, but I'll have to check and just work it out really. And this is like, we've got 3 little plastic mounting things here. Guessing they're for this. We get some screws, which I tipped out on the desk earlier while unboxing it. So we're just going to have to see how we get on with this. Let's go and try and attempt to install this in the PC now. So just before we install the new PC mods, I thought I'd just take a minute to show you guys the inside of the case and sort of what we've got going on at the moment and a couple of the minor issues that I've been having. So the first is that these GPU cables here, when I've got the glass panel on, they are pressed right up against the panel. Like there's barely any room for them. I can't even move these clips up because they just get stuck against the glass. And I think it's because I've got quite a wide GPU and also the main chamber of the Lian Li isn't as big perhaps as others. So yeah, that's not ideal because it's constantly pressing on here. So the vertical GPU mount should solve that because obviously we'll be able to have these cables running straight into here, which will look nice actually, I think, because I've never really been happy with how these cables sort of just drop down here. They don't really look that neat, so we'll be able to fix that. And while we're at it, we'll also fix this to make it up here a little bit cleaner, and also this one as well. Now in terms of airflow, the setup that we've got at the moment is currently a top intake and then followed by a side exhaust, which is not ideal because obviously heat rises. And the reason I did this originally, guys, was purely for aesthetics. I'm not really a fan of how these fans look when they're mounted backwards, which is how they'd have to be for an intake. So yeah, it was just for aesthetic reasons. Obviously, it's not ideal because the GPU is not really getting that much airflow because we're having air coming from here and it's kind of just going straight out of here, so it's not really getting that much airflow around the GPU. So vertical mount should obviously make that a little bit better on its own, but what's really going to make a difference is the front panel intake, because what we're going to be doing is removing this glass panel right here, replacing it with the new acrylic one, and then moving these fans to the front. So we're going to be having a front intake followed by a top exhaust which heat rises, so that should be better anyway. Plus with the GPU mounted vertically and having that air kind of flowing over here, should definitely be better for temperatures. But next year I'm going to be getting a 3080 Ti, which is going to create some serious heat. So we're definitely going to have to fix it for then anyway, so we might as well do that now. So without further ado, let's go and install the new stuff. So guys, what you've got to bear in mind when you decide to purchase a vertical GPU mount is whether your case has fixed metal struts or not at the back, because quite a lot of them do, and unfortunately when you mount your GPU vertically, obviously all the cables are going to go in vertically as well, which could cause an issue. Well, it would cause an issue if you had metal struts running across here because you wouldn't be able to get them in. So if you've got a case like that, you're going to have to find a way to remove them manually, I know with like a saw or something like that. Fortunately, the Lian Li case and quite a lot of other higher end cases nowadays come with fully removable ones. So all you do is just remove the screws, take them out, and then yeah, it's all good. So we don't need to do any case modding, which is nice. And this thing will just basically attach to here. We've got nice little thumb screws here, tighten them in, get it all installed, and then the GPU will sit on here. Then we just have to install the bracket right here, and hopefully it should all work fine. So we'll go and do that all now. So guys, what we're going to need to do first of all is attach the extension cable to the GPU mount. Now we do get a couple of screws included for this, so you don't have to faff about finding your own. There we go, that's all done. So I've just read the instructions, guys, and apparently we're supposed to stack these 3 foam pads on the bottom of the GPU bracket. I'm guessing this is to possibly add some stability to the bracket if you like stack these off the bottom of the case, but I think that'll look kind of stupid and it feels pretty solid anyway, so I think I'm just going to leave them out and we'll just go ahead and install this without them. So I've put it in the top one, it feels nice and secure. We've also got a nice little curve here as well for the cables, And all we need to do now is just attach it to the back of the case, and then we can install the GPU. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's actually a little bit of flex in this thing, which I hadn't noticed before. I don't know whether it's because of the tension on these cables, but as you can see, this end is slightly dipped down. Now, I don't know if in the end we'll probably have to follow the instructions after all and add these underneath, but I'm probably going to definitely add them while I install the GPU, because I don't want to press down on this and kind of bend it, so we'll just stick a couple of these underneath. Right, there we go. Now let's reinstall the graphics card. And there we have it, guys. Let me know what you think to it in the comments. I think it looks absolutely awesome. I've also checked this part of the bracket as well, which had the foam pads underneath, and it seems to be absolutely fine now. I guess most of the GPU's weight is taken by these two screws that I've inserted at the back here. And yeah, I've taken the foam out and it seems to be totally fine, so that is a win. Now, obviously, we're going to have to reroute the GPU cables because the place that we're going to plug into now is right here. So I'll probably hide some more of this cable in the back of the case and then sort of have them hide behind the GPU and then plug in straight here. I think that should look quite good. But before we do that, we need to, of course, install the front panel mod. So let's go and do that. So guys, after much research and testing, I think I may have figured out how this all goes together. So what you want to do is grab your first panel, which is this one with the kind of double layered thing going on. And if you look carefully, there should be two arrows somewhere on it. They're supposed to be pointing upwards. So once you've got them pointing upwards right here, spin the panel around, stick it on the front, and because it's been cut so accurately, it should just perfectly fit into this gap and sort of almost hold itself on, just like that. Now once we've done that, obviously it's still not secure, we need to attach it somehow. So I'll change the camera angle now and I'll show you what we'll do around the back. So once you've got the front panel aligned correctly, you should see 3 holes. I've actually already done 2 of them. There's one at the bottom, and one at the top and one in the middle. Now you need 3 things for this next section. You need one of these, and you also need your Allen key, and you also need one of these screws, which obviously you use the Allen key to screw this in. Now you get 2 types of screws in the box. You get long ones and short ones. You're going to need the longer ones for this side, I believe, because I don't think the other ones are going to be long enough. So yeah, all you do is you just put the screw through the front like that, and then stick this block on and basically just tighten it against that, and it should hold the front panel in place. So once you've secured this side of the panel, what you want to do next is grab this long piece of plastic that is included in the box, and if you look closely again on this, you should see that there is an arrow. Now you want this arrow pointing upwards again. So what we're going to do is place it into the corner of the case. Now, if you're wondering why it has these holes in, it's because if you look carefully, the Lian Li case actually has bolts over here, which obviously wouldn't allow the piece of plastic to lay flat. So that's why they are there. So we'll just place this into here like so, and I'll probably switch camera to the front now so that we can screw that in. So it's the same deal on the front really. We're just going to put these screws through and tighten it down onto the back panel that we just installed. And again, I'm pretty sure it's the long screws that we're supposed to be using. I couldn't find any instructions, so that's just my guess, but yeah, they seem to work fine. So after you've done that, everything should feel nice and secure, and all that's left to do now is just to install the fans. Once you've done that, you can then put the dust filter on like this, and then put your front panel on, which actually has some magnets on. So all you do is you just place it on and it holds itself on securely like that. If you ever want to replace the dust filter or change it or whatever, you just take that off, swap it out, and then stick that back on again. So yeah, super easy to clean, I guess. So you just need to put the fans in. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to film the installing of the fans and all that because I was just spending ages faffing about deciding on fan configuration and whether or not to move this radiator or not. But yeah, I'll explain to you what I've done. So over at the front here, as you can see, I've moved those Corsair LL120 fans that used to be a side exhaust. They're now at the front, so they're acting as a front intake, pulling in lots of fresh air. By the way, if you're wondering how to install them, you literally just grab the included screws, put them through the front and just screw them into the fans. Dead simple and yeah, pretty self-explanatory. So we got those as a front intake. If we take a look at the side, we had a massive hole here once I'd moved those fans. So what I've done is I've put some deep cool fans there as an intake as well. So not really seen this setup before. It's kind of a little bit crazy, but yeah, people normally run a bottom intake, I guess, but I can't because I've got that light box there. So we've got air coming in from the bottom, which should flow over the GPU nicely, and also at the top as well. Loads of air coming in here for the top radiator. And we've got the Corsair LL120 fans acting as an exhaust. So, like I said, kind of a little bit of a weird setup, but hopefully it should give us some good cooling performance. I'll just have to wait and see. Now, if you want to pick up one of these front intake panel mods for yourself, guys, I'll leave a link in the description to Cold Zero where you can pick one up. Thanks again to the guys at Cold Zero for sending this out to me. Really cool of you. And also, I'll leave a link to where you can purchase this vertical GPU mount. Now, of course, guys, I'm not going to finish the video without showing you some epic B-roll footage, but before I go, just want to say thank you for watching today. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop us a like rating, massively helps me out, and get yourself subscribed as well if you're not already. I've got loads of new content coming for you, so yeah, make sure you hit that bell icon. But yeah, with that being said, guys, hope you all have an awesome week. Enjoy the B-roll. I'll catch you all in the next one.